Chapter 14 Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, Going Beyond the Three Forces of Nature. Lord Krishna continued, Arjuna, I will now reveal to you the very nature of nature, Prakriti. By knowing the secret, the great sages reached supreme perfection and were freed from the cycle of death and rebirth. Everything that is born is a result of a union between spirit, Purusha, and nature, Prakriti, and is the combination of three strands of nature called the gunas: sattva, calm goodness; rajas, passionate activity; and tamas, dark ignorance. All people have all three of these forces within them in different proportions, and will exhibit the nature of their predominating guna. The sattvic person will be calm and harmonized. Rajasic people are full of restless energy. Tamasic persons will be lethargic, unmotivated, and unwilling to act. Gunas are forces that weave together to form a strong rope that binds the Atma, soul, to one's worldly body, and thus binds it to the cycle of death and rebirth. The objective of life is to reshape one's life upward in search of a higher ideal, changing from indolence, tamas, to passionate activity, rajas, and then channeling that into calmness, sattva. Of these, sattva, being pure, provides an unobstructed view of Atma. But even here, a problem can arise when one finds pleasure in sacred knowledge and begins yearning for it. Any pleasure, even good pleasure, creates attachment and subsequently creates desire. All attachments, even golden ropes, binds the individual, the jiva, to the pain and the sadness of the material world. Desire-filled action is the very nature of rajas, the second guna. Desire goads one into action and creates a sense of doership in the mind. It creates a thirst for acquiring and clinging to worldly things, to people and sensations that attract the senses. Rajas breeds attachment to action and its fruit. This attachment, turned on itself, brings greed, and greed's close relative, anger. Tamas, the third guna, which literally means darkness, instills nothing but indolence and stupor. This guna bewilders people, stealing their capacity for work, their rajasic energy, as well as taking their composure, their sattvic calmness. Sattva ties the pure person to joy, rajas binds the active doer to incessant activity, and tamas fastens indolent people to delusion and sloth. Over the course of a day, all three gunas ebb and flow within each person. Sattva rises to the fore by overpowering rajas and tamas. Rajas rules when sattva and tamas are weak. Tamas prevails when the other two qualities lie dormant and yield to lethargy. One should always be aware of when each guna dominates. When sattva rises, it is as though the light of the true self shines. Your seeing, thinking, and action is more precise. When rajas takes over, it is as though impatience, greed, and longing have sprung to the forefront, as if your own restlessness is compelling you to action. And you know that tamas has taken charge when your mind feels lazy, bewildered, and uncaring. The particular state of mind uppermost at the time of your death is the deciding factor of your next birth. Those who die in a sattvic state go to the pure heavens, the dwelling place of those who know the divine. If you die in a rajasic state, full of unfulfilled desires, excitement, fears, and sorrows, you are reborn into the wombs of people similarly driven. If you die in a tamasic mentality, you depart in an unconscious state, only to be reborn into a situation of equal dullness and ignorance, or even a subhuman or animal. Always seek to move to the next higher level, from tamas to rajas to sattva. The anger and pain of the driven rajasic person may be heaven sent, because nothing motivates a person to mend their ways as much as the misery that always accompanies desire-driven action. Suffering is the training ground where one shapes good character and right conduct, dharma. It is dharma, living a truth-based life, that lifts one to the serenity of sattva. Those that live in sattva rise upward, whether in this world or the next. Those stuck in rajas stay in the middle, ever caught up in earthly activity. Those mired in tamas sink even lower. Remember that the gunas are nature, prakriti. The purpose of life is to outgrow the two inferior guna forces, to reach the serenity of sattva, and then to ascend even beyond sattva. The person who climbs beyond all three guna states is in essence transcending nature itself. This person enters the realm of pure consciousness and attains the supreme bliss of my being. This enlightened one feels no attraction or aversion to any of the gunas, no desire even for the calm goodness of sattva or the excitement of rajas, and no repulsion towards the lethargy of tamas. They have nothing to gain by adhering to any of these earthly behaviors. They have nothing to lose by turning from them. As they do not tie their moods to worldly guna-created circumstances, they cease being uplifted or depressed by their own likes or dislikes. Thus balanced in the face of pleasure and pain, these wise yogis are no longer party to the machinations of the three forces within nature and their body. They dwell always within self, Atma. Duality such as pleasure and pain, praise and blame no longer have any meaning to them, as they are established in the attitude of holy indifference. To them, lumps of clay, stone or gold are all the same. They have progressed beyond time, space and circumstances to the place where the mind is tranquil and the ego disappears. The way to transverse the worldly forces, the gunas, is through steadfast practice of the three parts, the three yogas I have prescribed. 1. Be thoroughly devoted to the divine, Bhakti Yoga. 2. Faithfully serve divinity, Karma Yoga. And 3. Be constantly aware of the same divinity in all others and in everything you do, Jnana Yoga. Finally, Arjuna, be always aware that I, the Divine One, am the foundation of both the manifested and unmanifested Godhead. I am the imperishable, immutable Brahman above all, who dwells within all as Atma. I am eternal truth and everlasting bliss. Thank you for watching so far. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new here, please subscribe. This will ensure that more people can find this resource. Click the notification button so that you can be the first to know about new uploads. And please do comment below. I'll do my best to reply to any questions. Thank you.